Hi, my name is Ryan and welcome to my channel. We are changing gears here. I started editing another book I wrote, and when I was editing it, I also took a 20-hour class on AI and machine learning, and then I ran across all sorts of other crazy stuff out there. And one of those things was this AI program that I guess forks off of the whole ChatGPT 4 technology, and it's called Sudowrite, and you can see that here on my screen, or well, you probably can't read that address label at the top, but I'm going to start documenting me working with the software. I'm not an expert on the software, so if you're checking this out for the first time and you're like, hey, I want to learn all about Sudowrite, and you came here, you can consider this as a work in progress, and we're going to figure out as we go along. I'm actually going to write a story, and I'm going to actually document it as I go along the process here. Making it, and we'll get into the details. But since you're here and I'm a computer science teacher, I figured it'd only be beneficial to you to get some sort of background information on what I've seen. Again, I'm not an expert on this, and I've joined some communities learning from other people. They're very helpful, friendly. That's been a great resource for me. But I think one of the best ways to learn this is just going to be jumping in and using it. Okay, so first thing, this is the main window. If you go to it for the first time, don't know what it'll look like on your screen. Let's use a new window here so you can see it for the first time. I shouldn't keep my settings here. Okay, so you should see that as your landing screen right here. And you can go in and get all the commercial stuff, and it's going to tell you how awesome it is and how awesome you're going to be and how sexy you'll be from writing books with AI and everything else. And it's got these cool zoom ins and mice are moving everywhere. So check that out. You can try it for free. That's what I did. And you get about 5,000 words for your trial subscription. And you can see the pricing over here. I signed up for the professional. Seemed the most logical. Of course, if you pay $25 a month and you have 4 separate accounts, and 4 times 90, if I'm right, I don't teach math, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be 360,000. Compared to the max of $100 a month, you get 300,000 words. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy here. Okay, but for me, that doesn't seem to add up quite well. I don't know where the math came from on that. Obviously, you pay for monthly, you pay more. I've been paying monthly because I'm not sure how this is going to work. And you will learn along with me. Once I see that it works and I can produce the novel, it's pretty good, then I'll go with a yearly subscription. And we'll see what else we can do with it too, because I do a lot of technical writing for programming and computer science type stuff. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, so let's pretend you did sign up and then you went to bed and woke up and you came back and your screen looked like this. All right, so over here is the home button. You click on this bad boy. It's going to take you to where your current projects are located. It'll give you some other tips and tricks on what's going on over here. There's a lot of resources for Sudowrite, so I'm not going to go into too many details because I don't want to sit there and keep reinventing the wheel. Maybe I should, but I'm not going to. Let's see right here. We're hiring. If you're looking for a job, I think when I checked it out, they were looking for full stack developers. Which back-end AI, full stack software development, if you know how to do those things, I would highly encourage you to do so. You're probably wondering, like, why don't you do it, stupid? Well, the reason is I don't want to. I don't want to be a full stack developer. That's a lot of things you have to do that that's not where I'm going in life. Right here, what's new? If I click on this, it's going to tell you all the new features they're adding. It's kind of like the experimental type stuff. Last time I clicked on it, I couldn't go away. It wasn't that. It was the little chemistry flask here, whatever that's called. So what's new? It slowly comes on and just tells you what's going on with this, with the software. Since I've started using this for a month, the interface has changed and things have moved around. So that's one reason I don't want to put a lot of time and effort into digging into the software, because this thing can change overnight. And I've written computer science books before, and it's disheartening to put so much time and effort into documenting something and then it gets changed on you. So you click on the chemistry flask. It gives you their experimental stuff. The feedback, I'm excited about that. I'm going to use that once I get done. I'm not a big fan of how many words you can put into it. I typically write if I wrote any novel I've written has been about 80,000 to 150,000 words in length. So I'm gonna have to figure out how we'll be able to use this with the 10,000 word limit. I'm sure you can break it up in chunks, but I just don't know how that's going to work. So we'll see. I'm hoping it's going to be cool. And then right here, tweet storms, you can put into, the format that would fit into Twitter. If you're into Twitter, I'm not into Twitter. Anyhow. And then the question mark right here, it's got some links. You can go to the manual, join the Slack community. I did that. Very helpful people, some nice people I've met out there. You got your FAQs. There's like a reader guide. I went through that. They more or less matched up with the software. It was pretty up to date. Suggest features, report bugs, and you can read the rest here. And then the wheel. I love the little gears. So right here, it shows you your subscription. I put it underneath my pen name. You can adjust the look of the browser software here, however you want to do, or however you want the look, how you want to do. Okay, so right here it tells you how many words you have. So if you sign for a free plan, you're going to have probably about 5,000. They'll tell you how many you use. And then you can go click on your membership and billing and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so it'll tell you how many you're using, but it also will tell you once you get started inside here also. So the way it charges you is it charges by a word. If you look at OpenAI, I'm not even going to say it because I can't remember the details. I got too much information too fast. But the way they charge per token or something, but it's something to do with that. I don't know the details. I really don't care. I mean, I'll care once I really start cranking out this thing and I need to start looking at, how much it costs. Right now, it's just kind of like a little experiment. So I figured $30. We're going to try to use up all 90,000 words in this month and see what happens. Okay, some of the first things I've done. Okay, let's look at the projects right here. You can click on new and create a brand new project. If you click on new, you'll see what happens. I'm going to open up a project I already created and just click on new because I don't see any reason to do that because all it's going to do is make this show up and be blank. Right here, just some other tips and tricks. Then you got your question mark, same thing as before. Then your wheel also does the same thing as before, the gear. So when I went into my first project, I created it. You've got your list of menu items right up here at the very top. Just imagine like Microsoft Word or something like that, where you'd have all your stuff at the top. And we got to remember, this is AI. This isn't an RTF or a word editor or anything like that. Okay, so it operates a little bit differently. And here on the left hand side, it's going to give you a list of all the different items you've made. And I don't consider these projects, I consider this entire thing a project. So I would say these are like new chapters or new sections of your book or some sort of new, I call them sandboxes. And I'll show you what I've done here in a second. You can also import your documents. If you click on import, it's going to allow you to import any sort of file type, like any sort of Word doc, any text editing software you've made. You'll notice PDFs are not included in that, which is good because PDFs will probably be pretty hard to read for this thing. We'll see how good AI gets when I can start chopping up PDFs. Oh, I'm sure that can, and y'all are like, hey, it's already out there. Well, if it is, cool. And then right here, so you click on add new. If I click on add new, it's going to add like a little page here where I can go in and start doing things. I've already clicked on another one, but there it is. Then down here are like these more advanced type tools where it actually works on the whole story. For example, the canvas, if you click on this, it's going to allow you to go through and kind of develop the pacing of the story. And they use your typical outline formats for writing, like the hero's journey, Hollywood beats, story circle, and all that kind of stuff. I don't like using those just because I write for myself, but maybe I should. Maybe it'll increase the amount of people that check out my stuff. I don't know. We're going to give it a shot. We're actually going to try using all these different features here while I go through the software. Step by step, though, it's going to take a while. But you can see also that it uses the image generation AI. If you watched my videos before, I use a lot of the Midjourney software. So I have not used this image creation with Sudowrite just because I have Midjourney accounts. I don't see any reason why to. Midjourney is probably like one of the best ones. I don't see how this could be better than Midjourney, especially since it's embedded inside here. To me, that sounds like it's a good tool for somebody that does not have a Midjourney account. It's kind of like, I don't know, like using some sort of a freeware version of a video editing software if you didn't have access to Adobe Premiere Pro. That's my 2 cents. You can take it or leave it. It's up to you. Okay, so this is just the canvas. This is where you can generate your story and all the different parts of your outline and how you want to formalize itself. Let's go back. And then here, the story engine. This is where I'm going to start in the next video. And the story engine, it has a lot of different parts and features inside of it. And I'm glad to see that the information I put in my story engine is officially gone. So that's really exciting. I'm glad that's not there anymore. I wonder what happened to it, because actually I have this thing filled out completely with everything I needed to do for my story engine. And now it's not there. So let that be a lesson to you. And the good news is I backed all of it up already. So I actually didn't type it on here. I typed it in my Microsoft OneNote account, and I put everything inside there and then copied and pasted over here because I was suspicious of anything that is using web browsers for some sort of functionality. I've programmed in web browsers before, and it's ended up in a disaster. And so right there, I caught it. It's already deleted stuff. You're probably like, hey, where is all your stuff? And that's what I'm wondering too. So we'll see what happens there. There's nothing in the trash, so I'm just curious what happened to all my stuff. Oh, I know what happened to it. It's still there. I'm an idiot. Okay, it's under a different project. In R2J is where I had my story engine. And here's where I had all this kind of stuff. Okay, and we'll go through all this, but you can see you have your brain dump. I didn't know what that was until I opened up the software, and it had your genre and your style, and I'll go into all that in more detail in the future. But let's look a little bit more at Sudowrite and its basic functionality here. So here, I'm just kind of using this to edit some of the chapters in the book I'm writing. And you can see I put in my text right here, and it gives me a few different options. For example, the write guided button, it allows me to actually just have Sudowrite to automatically start writing things. And then guided, where it follows your instructions on what you're putting inside there. I haven't really used this because I already wrote everything, so I don't really need anything written for me. But I'll experiment with that in the future, especially when I start writing the actual book. So you'll see more of that as we go along. Tone shift right here is where you can just shift the kind of like the discourse on how it's going to come out. For example, I had some text on here that I wanted to sound a little bit more serious, so I shifted the tone by having it rewrite it. Let's see, write settings. Here you got your creativity bar. The way it's described is that least creative means it tries to stick as close as possible to what you have going on. And then your most creative is where it's pretty much you're just letting AI go for it. And some of the things I've seen happen from other writers, it gets pretty far out there. So I have not come across a reason to use it, but I'm sure I will. Right here, this is what gets me, is because we only have so many words that we can use whenever we're writing. Because remember, the subscription fees, you get 5,000 for free. So whenever you create something, it's going to create these things on the right hand side called the cards. And the cards are, whenever it's writing something into the cards, that's taking words out of your bank on what you have in your subscription. So if you have 5,000 on your free and you got 3 cards getting produced by this, they're about 50 words each. So you can anticipate about 150 words are going to get subtracted from that whenever you create those things. You're thinking, hey, that's a hell of a deal. And that's cool if you feel that way. Okay, I'm neutral on the subject. But right here you can see where you can expand it or contract it or get more words, especially if you're kind of like maybe got some sort of writer's block or something. You know, getting it to write more might give you some more inspiration or something. Let's see what else we got here. Details, you know, right here you can just put some details on what's going on. So that way it kind of sticks and stays focused on what you're doing. The describe button right here, this is where you can increase the description. And you can see right here on mine, I have a couple describe cards over here. And what I did was I selected the metaphor to be the predominant type of description that gets played out. Now, if you have every single one of these selected, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to kill my word count, because I'm getting ready to run the story engine like a champ in the next video. But if you have all these selected, it's going to create a description that's based upon all of these. I'm not clicking on it because that's what, 7 of them, and they're about 50 words each. So, I mean, that's 350 right there at the top. You're probably saying, hey, you cheapskate. Well, you know what? You didn't pay any money for this video, so there you have it. But for fun, let's do touch, okay? Now I'm not going to write anything here. Let's say touch is our major description, and we're going to say we're going to describe, and we can see right up here for describe with touch, and it produced all this right here, okay? I'm not going to read it because you can read on your own. And you can see what it says. Everything I've read that's been produced by the AI seems pretty good. I mean, it's not, I mean, it is what it is. But, you know, just check it out. I've not personally just said, oh man, this is all awesome, and just take all of it and click on insert and just throw it inside there. Okay, I've not done that yet. What I've done is I've actually gone through this material, and I'm not worried about changing this. I'm way beyond this with my actual book. But what I've done is I go through it and I'm like, oh yeah, I like this idea, and I copy that out, and then maybe I look at another one and rewrite it or something like that, or change it up, make sure it matches, you know, adjust it, because from what I've read, no one's really been able to just click on a button and this thing just produces some awesome story. Let's see what else we got over here. So you got that under your belt there. You have to have at least one selected, which makes sense. Rewrite, you can rewrite something, just click on that, rewrite, then it's going to come over here and rewrite it for you. Oh, rephrase, that's right, you click on rewrite, then it gives you these other options right here. It's like rephrase it, shorter, more descriptive, or you can customize it by clicking on putting some descriptors in there, what you want. I would just use, you know, anything that you would normally use to describe on how to do something. I mean, I guess we'll say more descriptive. All right, go. And it's probably going to create a little card over here where I'll be able to get some more information on what's going on. You can see right there where it took that and expanded it. I've used this a few times and I like it because sometimes I'm in a hurry and I'm like, hey, yeah, it's like, this is a great tool. Instead of me having to do it myself, AI does it for me. So that's pretty cool. And let's say we take this, we insert it there, bam. I know you're probably like, hey, that doesn't make sense because it's duplicating. That's true, it is duplicating. But I really don't care because I'm not teaching you how to, we're not writing a story right now. We're just looking at some features. I'm just throwing crap out there. When you also have the option here to copy it, I do most of my editing in Microsoft Word just because I'm more comfortable with Word. And that's just how I roll. Right here, you can tell it yay or nay, you like it, or star if it's going to become one of your favorites. Also, when you highlight something, you'll notice you have these different features right here. You got rewrite, describe, expand, and visualize. And visualize is going to what creates the image that you saw on the canvas there a second ago. But I'm not going to click on that because I don't want to do it yet. So I'll let you do that on your own time. Let's see what else we got here. Rewrite. I think we just pretty much figured out rewrite. Brainstorm. I have not used this. So if I was you, I'd go check out some other features, or excuse me, other videos that get into this a little bit more, or wait for me to get around to it. But everything I've seen is people are needing ideas for things to put into their story. I have not hit that point. I'm sure I will, where I'll have to use this, where I'll use it to develop characters and all these other features that you have inside here. Now, if you click on it, you can see the stuff. I mean, this could seriously be like a whole video series to itself. Let's see what else. Visualize, that again creates the images. Oh, what the hell? Let's click on the image. Let's do it right here. All right, let's click on visualize and see what happens. Okay, it's probably doing something. While it's doing something, I'm gonna go click on some other things. I have a feeling we'll see. Oh, there it is. All right, there's a picture. We waited around for that. I don't know how many words that used, but I'll tell you what, if I am like 1,000 words short of complete my novel here in the next 2 weeks with the story engine, and it's because I've made this picture, I'm going to say it was totally worth it because you came here and watched it and you were just so excited about that. But you can see it right there. It's like, bam, now we got a picture of a train. That might help some people that like to have pictures in books. Maybe I'll do that too. Then more button, it gives you more. I haven't messed with any of this stuff with shrink ray. Right there, plot twist. You can choose it to change the plot, how your story's going to go, which just kind of randomizes things. Shrink ray. Shrink ray is kind of cool. I remember reading about this. It's basically taking all your material and condensing it down so that way you can put it in all of your social media and other things. And I guarantee you I will be using this, especially when I start making like the synopsis of the story. I like that idea. I like that idea quite a bit, especially when I want to make like the back cover content. So that's exciting. I remember reading about that. Characters. I haven't done this, like created the characters through AI, because I already had all my characters created. So I have not used it because I haven't had a need, but we'll change that. I guarantee you. A poem, I'm not writing a poem because, I don't write poems. I guess I could. Maybe I should. I wish I could. But see, I can't even write that. I couldn't even rhyme something right there. So there you have it. Horrible rhyming. That's Sudowrite in a nutshell. There's probably some features I forgot about. There's probably things they're adding to this as we're sitting here twiddling our thumbs and everything else. But you got the general gist of it. And we will be making a story with the story engine on the right project when we get back over here on this actual project that I've got set up right here. So I'm excited about this. This is the whole reason I bought this software, or access to the software, is to put this together, and I will talk about that in the next video. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you like and subscribe, and go give your mom and your dad or whoever you love a big kiss on the cheek and tell them you love them, and to give you $29.99 so you can go get Sudowrite.